The Serb withdrawal is complete. NATO troops are now entering Kosovo. The war is officially over.
Crimes Tribunal announced today that it will be releasing a list of suspected war criminals in Kosovo.
G7 today pledged a massive rebuilding program for Kosovo.
La ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah, ya Rab, ya Allah.
Far from the eyes of the international media, thousands of Kosovars form a human blockade on the road to Rreth. Stretching for miles, the roadblock has displaced ordinary people and their belongings. The scene of people living in the hills instantly recalls the images of the war in Kosovo. But the question is, with NATO in charge, why have these people left their homes? NATO has assigned Russian troops to protect this region. The people of Rreth call the Russians murderers who committed war crimes alongside the Serbs.
There's no way we can allow Russians into Rreth because they're the same as Serbs. They will unite and commit crimes again. They have killed pregnant women and they have killed children with axes. We have collected evidence and we've given it to K4. We're surprised that nothing has been done. What kind of democracy is this?
Away from the blockade, these graves are a silent reminder of the carnage that took place.
A girl, 3 girls, an entire family. Here are 2 brothers, a wife, and 3 girls.
Some of the victims were children as young as 1 and 3. In another part of Kosovo, another remarkable story. Muslim soldiers from the UAE army are taking part in protecting a Serbian enclave in Mitrovica.
We are in the French sector and we are under French command now. We are sharing the responsibility of the area. This field has been given to us to clear it.
These Muslim soldiers provide safety and humanitarian aid to over 3,000 Serbian men, women, and children. The irony of the situation is not lost on the Serbs of Mitrovica. But in the West, this story will probably never get any coverage. For the first time since ethnic cleansing began in Kosovo, a team of medical professionals visit this remote village. Volunteer doctors from Malaysia set up a makeshift clinic. Compassion and faith help to compensate for the differences in cultures and the lack of resources.
Very brief boy.
La ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah,
Muhammadur Rasulullah. La ilaha illallah. La ilaha illallah. Muhammad.
For some patients, physical illness is a minor problem compared with the torment of their souls.
This gentleman's son, the fifth in the family, 30 years old, was taken away from the house by the Serbs, and he was tortured in front of the family, and he witnessed everything.
And they tied him and said, "Give me the money." We will not have money to give them. And they, in front of one of the family, and then they take him with them, with Serbs.
The old man, he was having physical complaints. When I was talking to him, we noticed that he was having more than that. He was actually suffering from what we call a post-traumatic stress disorder.
It's estimated that 70% of Kosovo's infrastructure has been destroyed. Throughout the country, the horrors of war are etched on the landscape. Wherever the Serbs encountered resistance from the Muslims of Kosovo, they responded with an age-old tactic: show no mercy to those who offer opposition. Whether it's a matter of switching on a light or simply making a phone call, nothing is taken for granted in Kosovo anymore. Every family in Kosovo has experienced devastation of one kind or another.
The guns have stopped, but horror is still the same. They give us food, but our thirsty souls remain. Do you hear the call of the adhan? Is this for me? Please help me understand.
A special target of Serbian forces were the masjids of Kosovo. Between 50 to 70% of Kosovo's masjids now lie in ruins. Although Kosovo no longer dominates the headlines, its most engaging stories are only now being told. From one end of the country to the other, ordinary people are struggling to overcome the ravages of war. Many of them still cherish some hope for the future, despite having lost everything. The theater of war has been replaced by the drama of its aftermath. This man's home was invaded by Serbs who demanded money. When they found none, they began to destroy everything in the house. They also shot and killed his younger brother. His brother's wife and children are living a nightmare that is far from over. Outside this masjid, widows and orphans wait to receive charity. On March 26, 1999, this masjid was the scene of war crimes. Inside the women's section, Serbian forces robbed and raped women at will. Most of their male relatives were taken away and executed elsewhere.
They asked us for money. I had some and they let me go outside. They stopped two women and a girl. They took them inside. The girl and one woman had money, so they let them go. One woman didn't have any money, and we never saw her again. They kept us at the front of the masjid. They searched us again. They took everything. They checked my ears and opened my shirt. Some of the women were beaten. They took my earrings and necklace. They did this with all the women.